Hey, what's up guys and welcome back to Anime King. And today I'm going to be giving you part 18 of What If Naruto Was Given a Second Chance. Remember to get this one to 300 likes as usual, share this to all of your friends in your social media platform, and also, go ahead and check out the brand new episode of What If Naruto. Learn the clone secret in the beginning and enjoy that guys over on Anime King 2. And stay tuned because later on I'm going to be posting What If Naruto's an OP Seal Master. So stay tuned for that and I hope you guys enjoy. And I'm also going to be posting a new episode of What If Naruto Was a Godly Mage. So stay tuned for that as well guys. And remember, if you're new and this is the first time hearing my voice and you enjoy the videos on both Anime King and Anime King 2, go ahead and click that red subscribe button and become part of the Anime King family. And thank you for all for helping us support. And yeah, without further ado, what is to begin this new episode? Begin the intro. So the last spot we left off, Naruto woke up in the mindscape. It's been at least 24 hours since he's been out. As Kurama told him there was a lot of people outside, he could sense them, waiting for him to wake up. As Naruto knew that he had to deal with it sooner or later, Kurama asked him what was he going to do, was he going to tell him truth? But Naruto remembered what the God of Death said, that he could not tell anyone about his second chance. But he already had a plan to what to tell them, as Kurama wished him luck as he got out of the mindscape. Opening his eyes, he tried to pick himself up to sit up, as he was held up by Yujiro. As she placed a pillow behind him, he noticed a sad expression on her face. They all got to quickly ask him questions. Kakashi, all of them were in there. As Naruto explained to them that he understands why they kept his father a secret away from him. He's not some naive kid to ask them why did they do something like that. He understands that it was for his safety, and he understands that Jiraiya had to be out finding information using spy network to protect Konoha. As he told him about the secret room that he found, which all of his father's prized assets were in, jutsus, scrolls, journal, everything. A lot of important things to him, and there was where you find the Harashin. As the group was surprised he was able to learn the technique in only 1 month. Well, given from the sealing techniques that he has showed so far, they can see that he is well proficient in seals already. Naruto had to leave out some of the information lie here and there, as he told them he wanted to prove himself to show them that he can handle himself, and he can take on the responsibility of people knowing that he's a son of Minato Namikaze. Sarutobi had to go out and give a speech to the village, saying that the rumors were going around thick, and people want to know if it was true, that the Kyuubi brat was actually the son of Minato. As Sarutobi told Naruto that this will bring a lot of opportunities and a lot of enemies his way, and not to mention now, like how his secret is revealed. And not to mention that he had a Kekkei Todai, able to mix 3 elements together. The council want him to come together and reinstate the Uzumaki clan in Konoha. As Jiraiya had a smirk as he told Naruto there were some perks to that, for him being the only person in a clan. As he asked him if he could have some privacy with Yujiro. As he left the room, she thought that he was angry, because after all these years, she knew who his father was and she did not tell him. But he told her that he wasn't angry at all, as he simply smiled to her. After all that she has done for him, he could never be upset about that. As she asked him if he was sure, he simply hugged her, as she felt relief at hearing that. She wanted him to stay at the hospital and get some more sleep, but he has the means to go away now, as he simply flashed away in the Harashin, making her glare at the spot that he was. Meanwhile, Yujiro was walking around the village. Her Raikage hasn't left yet, as he had some talks to do with the third Hokage. It was then that she saw Naruto coming her way. He walked up to her. He was the one who won the bet after all. The next thing she knew, he teleported her right towards his house. She was surprised to see his house. It was a literal mansion. He went inside as he showed her around, as he brought her to his bedroom and placed some privacy seals. As she asked him what are those for, he wasted no time on removing his shirt. He had his 1 minute, Why would he waste it as he started to kiss her? It was then that the Nibe chimed in as well, as Yujito felt this urge just rushing through her body, as Nibe was messing with her senses to make her senses amplify at the moment. And with Naruto touching her, it was going haywire and crazy. She couldn't help herself. When the 1 minute was up, Naruto broke connection with her. But she told him to go on, there isn't any time limit. As the both of them end up sleeping together. Jiraiya was at the hospital a bit earlier when Naruto was unconscious, as he saw all the girls came to visit Naruto, as Jiraiya couldn't help it but be proud of his student, as he could see now his apprentice was a killer with the ladies, just like his old man. So yeah guys, that's basically as we left off. You guys can switch across to the place and check it out for yourself. So, what do you say we begin this new episode? So when do you think you'll be leaving her, to ask, as both him and Yujito was at the gate of his compound? I don't really know. Seems my Raikage has some more talks to do with your Hokage, she said. But once I know, I'll come and tell you. But I'll miss you, she said. Well, it's not like we're gonna not see each other again, he said. Remember about the mark? She glared at him a bit. Did you have to put it there, she asked. Well, Naruto said, stepping really close to her. I wanted to put it a much lower spot, but you wouldn't allow me. She glared at him. As she looked down on herself, he put the Hiroshin mark right near to her left breast. She could send chakra into it and summon him. And besides, Naruto said, when I teleport to you, I'll be right near to those things. I mean, they're so glorious. Who wouldn't want to admire them? She simply sighed. You're just a flirt, she said. A flirt that you like so much, he told her. She shook her head. Who told you that I like you, she asked. Well, after the things that you let me do to you, you have to like me, or you're just crazy, he said. She glared at him. Come on, you know I'm just kidding, he said. As she looked back. Well, I must get going now. Before she stepped forward, he grabbed her hand as he pulled her towards him. You know you can't just leave like that, he said, before pulling her lips into a kissing embrace. Yet again she felt shivers went down her spine. The way he kissed, everything he does, it seems like he's so experienced to all of it. As he broke the kiss, as she blinked twice. I'll see you later, she says. He started to walk off, leaving her at his compound. You know, if you want to spy, you should have hide yourself better, said Naruto. Seems like you've been holding back on me the entire time, said Jiraiya. If you actually know that I'm here. Well, I'm not an idiot, you know that, said Naruto. As Naruto looked at Jiraiya to see a kind of worried look on his face. Hey, what's wrong, Pervy, said Naruto asked. Well, I kinda messed up, said Jiraiya. And what do you mean by that, Naruto asked. Well, you see that San Kunoichi, she was looking for you. And I told her where you live. So right now, the both of them are going to be crossing each other's path. I did not know you had company. As Naruto stood there silent for a few seconds. Hey, aren't you worried? Jiraiya asked. Nah, said Naruto, I can fix this. As Jiraiya walked over, I must say, no, I can't even describe in words. He grabbed Naruto and pulled him into a bone-crushing hug. Hey, what's a big deal, Pervy, Naruto said. As Jiraiya released him. As Jiraiya placed a hand on Naruto's head. I never thought that you were such a killer with the ladies. You're just like your old man, Jiraiya said. And might even better, while you were out at the hospital, a lot of them came to visit. Even that Kunoichi from Kiri. I must say, I don't know how you keep on pulling them, but you will be great inspiration for my next book. Huh, so you want to write about my life, said Naruto. Of course I do, said Jiraiya. Why don't we then go on a training trip, Naruto said. Jiraiya narrowed his eyes at Naruto. He was thinking that same thing. He did not tell Naruto about the organization yet, known as the Akatsuki, coming after the Bijous. But he was thinking about that, to make sure the kid is ready. Judging from his skills right now, 3 years, that will all that Jiraiya need, 3 years. And he can make Naruto into a, probably even a double S-rank ninja. Judging from the boy's skills right now, and his control over the Kyuubi already. Yes, he would just need 3 years. Well, we're gonna have to see about that, said Jiraiya. He was already planning on it anyway. He was going to have to talk to Sarutobi. Well, as long as I get to meet new girls and have my fun with them, you can write about my life all that you want, said Naruto. As tears came to Jiraiya's eyes, he was going to hug Naruto again, until Temari started to walk up. Well, see ya, said Jiraiya. And with that he jumped off. But he didn't go away. He wanted to see at first hand how Naruto would handle this. Naruto saw Temari coming towards him and she had an angry look on her face. "Hey there, Temari-chan," he said. "Don't hate me," she said. "Aw, come on, what did I do?" he asked. "I've been looking for you the entire time. If it wasn't for Jerry of the Sun, I would not find you." "When did you get out of the hospital?" she asked. "Oh, a couple of hours ago." "And you didn't bother to come and find me or anything?" "I thought that I told you I want to talk after the..." "Sorry about that," Naruto said, cutting her off. He knew that Jiraiya was still here. She couldn't say anything about the invasion right now, but it seems that Jiraiya was hiding his presence well. She couldn't sense it. But Naruto could sense it, the shift in the air, the movement, the wind. It was bonded to him. He knew where Jiraiya was. "Look," Naruto says, he stepped forward, stepping right into our personal space. "I'm sorry I didn't come to visit you. It just... I guess you know by now who my father is." "Yeah, and I must say I'm surprised," she said. "I never would have guessed. But come to think of it now, you're here and your eyes, they're the same." "Yeah," said Naruto. "Well, as you know, everyone in the village know right now. I just want to know how it will change things," he asked. "Yeah, I suppose life was difficult for you, being a Jinjutsu and all," she said. "Just like Gar." "Thank you for that again, by the way," she said. "Oh, no problem," Naruto said. "By the way," she asked, "that girl, Yujito, what was she doing up here? As far as I can see, that your house." She didn't look behind him. "Wait, is that where you live?" she asked. As Naruto turned around, "Yeah," he said. Temari was surprised. She too lived in a mansion. They were the kids of the Kazekage. But Naruto did not know about his father before that. But this was a mansion as well. This was an entire compound. She was surprised. "So, what was I saying? That girl, what was she doing up here?" Temari asked. "Oh, well, we fought in the exams," Naruto said. "And we kind of became friends." Her face turned into a scowl. "Well, it's because we're both Jinjulkis," Naruto said. "We have went through the same life. And, well, she just wanted to talk and try to figure out if my life was the same as hers. And she's not that bad," said Naruto. "But enough about her now. What about you?" Naruto said. "You told me that you wanted to talk after everything was over. And it's finally time, we're all alone." As he stepped forward, "So tell me, what have you choose?" he asked. As a big blush came on her face as she looked away. "What's wrong?" Naruto says. He placed a hand on her cheek. "Nothing's wrong," she said. "I'm fine." "And yes." "Yes?" "I said yes," she said. "About what?" he asked, a smirk on his face. "Stop teasing me," she said as she stepped forward. He wrapped his arms around her waist as he pulled her into a deep kiss. A distance away, Jiraiya was crying as he had his notebook out and was writing fast as he couldn't believe this. This kid was beyond anything he has ever seen before. A true ladies' man, a genius. He was... Jiraiya couldn't help but cry as he kept on writing his book. Naruto breathed the kiss with Temari, making her face look all flushed. "So, you want to have a tour of my compound?" he asked. As she nodded. Before they could step off though, an envoy appeared. "Uzumaki-san." Naruto turned towards Anvu. "Yes?" "The council is requesting your presence immediately." "Is this an order from the Hokage?" Naruto asked. "Yes, the Hokage is there as well," said the Anvu. "Fine, I'll be there in a minute," said Naruto. The Anvu nodded and vanished. As Naruto turned towards Temari, "Come in," he said. "But you were called," she said. As Naruto looked at her, "It's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to get to bring someone like you into my house as a guest. And I can't afford to turn down that position, even if I might get in trouble." "What?" she said, rather surprised. "You would really risk not going there just to stay with me?" "Of course I will," Naruto said. "I mean, I can't just leave an angel by yourself alone." Temari couldn't help but blush insanely red. "No," she said, "you have to go," making Naruto scowl a bit. "But what about you?" he said. "We can do this another time. I don't want to get you in trouble. Now please go," she said. "We can do this another time, okay?" "If you say so," said Naruto. As she nodded, she then leaned up and gave him a kiss right on the cheek. "I'll see you later," she said, Before she could walk off though, he grabbed her hand and spun her around, making her comfort right in his chest. That's not how we say goodbye, he said, as he planted another kiss on her lips, making this one last very long. It was hot, as her entire body felt like it was shaking uncontrollably as he breathed the kiss with her. She felt something flapping around in her stomach as she headed off with a big blush on her face. As Naruto stood there, Jiraiya then appeared by his side. As Naruto looked at the man was still crying, as Jiraiya couldn't believe what just happened. How did you know that would work? Jiraiya asked. What if she said that she wanted you to come? Well, she wouldn't want to get me in trouble, Naruto said. That is why I phrase it that way. Because right now she thinks that she's the most important person right now. And you have to let the ladies feel special, Naruto said. You can't treat them badly. It won't look good for your reputation. Jiraiya looked at Naruto with a new sense of pride, honor, respect, as he couldn't believe this kid. He couldn't even put in words what he wanted to say. As he grabbed Naruto again and pulled him into a bone-crushing hug, Private Sage Naruto said, "What's wrong with you?" "I'm just so proud," Jiraiya said. "I never thought there was someone that existed like you. I'm honored for you to be my apprentice. Soon enough, the entire world will know your name, boy. And mostly the ladies." "I'm counting on that," said Naruto. "Alright, so you come in here to ask." Jiraiya nodded as the both of them headed off. Moments later, said Sarutobi. "Good, now that you're here, Naruto, please have a seat." As Naruto stepped inside the count's room, everyone was there. As he went to sit down, Jiraiya came. As he leaned up against the wall, the two elders, Danzo, all of the clan heads, and a group of civilian council, the richest members in Konoha, that own the shops, the hotels, and everything. "Let us get this meeting underway," said Sarutobi. "As you all found out, Naruto is the son of Minato Namikaze, our recent Hokage." "Hokage-sama," said one of the civilian members. The man stood up as he had short black hair, along with brown eyes. His name was Kido. "Yes, Kido," said Sarutobi. "Are we sure that this boy is the son of our Lord Fort? Where is the proof?" "I am the living proof right here," said Sarutobi. "I was there that night. But because of the other nations and many enemies that Minato possessed, we had to keep Naruto safe by keeping his identity a secret. But that is no longer an option, because I believe soon enough the entire world will know who he is." Kido then sat down, but the man was mumbling to himself. "Hokage-sama," said Shikaku, "from what you have said, this boy possesses a rare element that many ninja this age don't even come near to possessing. To be able to blend three elements in one singular motion, the Kekkei Todai." As the other council members looked at him, "Naruto," said Sarutobi, "would you please explain?" Naruto cleared his throat. "Well, civilians, shinobis of Konoha, clan heads, elders. As you all know, recent development has shown that I am the son of Minato Namikaze. I am sure that all of you in this room know what happened all those years ago. That was the same night on my birth. How do you think someone could have the right to force someone else's kid into submission by using them before using their own? And it's a dead giveaway judging from my hair and my eyes. I mean, if you really look at it, the facts are all there. But you already know that," Naruto said. "As for my Kekkei Todai, I've been recently informed that it was only one man in the shinobi world that can do that ability right now. And that is the third Hitsukage of the Hidden Stone. But mine's a little different. I'm able to combine lightning along with water and the wind to create a more advanced elements and a lot of more destructive based jutsus." "And is this a bloodline?" one of the council members asked. "Of course it is," said Naruto. "A strong one. Well, most of you weren't there when I took on Orochimaru," Naruto said. "About that," said Shibi. As Naruto turned towards him, "I heard that you single-handedly forced Orochimaru to retreat. Yes, that is true, said Naruto, as many gasps could be heard amongst the civilian members. As they couldn't believe it, was this boy really that powerful to force one of the legendary Sanins Orochimaru to retreat? Well, I can't take all the credit, said Naruto. After all, the Hokage, Jiraiya, and many other top shinobis were there. It would be certain death if he had stayed behind. Wait, one of the other civilian members said. We heard that the ninjas from the Hidden Zone tried to retreat from the borders, but you were the one that stopped them all. Did you really take out 100 ninjas plus with the Hiraishin? Are you that fully control of the jutsu already? That your father, the man said, still not sounding like he believed well, created. Well, as you all know, my father was able to end the Third Great Shinobi War, forcing the Hidden Stone into submission by using that jutsu. So for me to take out 100 ninjas, that is quite simple, said Naruto. As the others looked at him, they have heard about the battle, well, the shinobi side, so they weren't questioning him on that, and most of them, their shinobis, saw it, and some of the clan heads were there as well, after they finished with the cleanup of the town, so they weren't surprised by this right now, but for the civilian side, they were shocked. What about this bloodline, said Hayashi? What is it called? Well, I call it storm release, Naruto said. Judging from my lightning, the water and the wind come together, create a destructive force. And can this bloodline be passed down? One of the civilian members asks. Well, I don't know about my father, but from some things I've read, he was able to utilize the three natures that I am able to use. But judging that he mostly uses Hiraishin, and he was always taking on armies by himself, seeing that he was a one-man army, most people did not see what he's done. But as Naruto poofed a seal on his wrist as a book came out. This is one of my father's journal that I found in his private study. As Naruto went to one of the page and passed it over to Sarutobi. Can you read that first line, Naruto asked. Sarutobi nodded. As he cleared his throat. I have successfully able to combine my lightning affinity with my water to create destructive streams of electricity. It seems to go with me rather easily. Now I'm working on combining it with my wind to create something more destructive, and I believe I will be getting there soon. Even Jiraiya was surprised. He never knew that Minato write down things like these. Where were these things found? Asked Koharu. In my father's private study, said Naruto. We will need to see inside of there and see what your father left behind. No, said Naruto. Excuse me, said Koharu. You heard me, said Naruto. No. As the sole heir of my father, why should I let any of you in there, Naruto asked. Because it's a property of Konoha. How could it be a property of Konoha? Is there a statement somewhere telling you that my father left anything behind for any of you? I won't be sharing any of this to you. I just brought this here to make you see what my father write about. But you won't be diving into anything else. Hokage-sama, said Koharu. Naruto is right. All of this belongs to him. And if he does not wish to share it, he doesn't have to. As Koharu got a frown. But Naruto paid Koharu no mind. So as you all can see, said Sarutobi, all of the evidence are there. Now, shall we move on to the restoration of the Uzumaki clan? You can all know by his name right now that Naruto is a Uzumaki through and through. What about the sealing art he used in the exam? I heard him said it. He said Uzumaki's sealing technique. And he was able to bring down one of those tail beasts on his own. One of the civilian members asked. Yes, Naruto said. I've been tinkering with a new set of sealing, and I'm able to adapt them to different sections, such as able to bring down a fully transformed Biju, but it requires a lot of chakra to use. Well, that is certainly still impressive, said Shikaku. You not only face off against a Jonin level ninja, as we all know in this room that that girl was no ordinary genin, but you were able to take her down in her transformed state. I'm impressed, Shikaku said. It truly speaks on how powerful you are. Thank you, said Naruto. Well, Hokage-sama, said Omura, if he's planning on restoring the Uzumaki clan back in Konoha, he will have to bring something to the table, and I'm sure that his seals can more than make up for them. But he will have to provide us with new seals, better seals to help our ninjas out in the field. Sarutobi looked towards Naruto. That is more than fierce, said Naruto. I've been tinkering on new stuff lately, so you don't have to worry about that. Well then, said Koharu, we will take the honor of selecting brides to be so the Uzumaki can be flourished in the future. What are you talking about, said Naruto. The CRA, boy. I have a name, said Naruto. Koharu glared at him, but Naruto simply glared back, as who was this old bag to tell him anything? Naruto, they are right. You will have to be put under the CRA Act, judging that you're the only Uzumaki male member left in Konoha. A long time ago it was stated in the clan charts that a Dino clan, one member, the male, shall be able to marry multiple wives so they can restore the clan if needs be necessary. Wait, so you're telling me that I can be with multiple women in order to restore my clan, said Naruto. Yes, said Sarutobi. Naruto looked towards Jiraiya as Jiraiya gave him a thumbs up, as Naruto couldn't help but smile. This was just a wonderful gift they're giving him. So right now, he doesn't have to worry about the other girls finding out about each other and fighting. He simply tells them that he's under the CRA Act. So he doesn't have to be in a one relationship with anyone. He could be with multiple girls, as long as he had kids in the future. And no thanks for your help, Naruto said. I am perfectly capable of finding females on my own, he said. Do they have to pick who I choose? Naruto asked. He looked at Sarutobi. Of course not. But if nothing has changed by the time you turn 18, they will have the permission to pick 4 females for you. Well, you don't have to worry about that, Naruto said. Alright, said Sarutobi. Everything I've run smoothly so far. So, I hereby place one Naruto Uzumaki under the CRA Act to restore the Uzumaki clan. He's still not of the right age yet. There hasn't been any former Uzumaki clan heads at the seat at the table of the council. So I hereby call to a vote of the Shinobi council side for all who think that Naruto must get a seat at the council table as the head of the Uzumaki clan. Raise your hand if you agreed. As Naruto looked around the room, Tatsumi was looking at Naruto. The reason being is, she has hated that boy for so long because of what he holds inside of him, but she just found out that his mother. She knew that Kushina was in a relationship, but she never actually knew with who, because her and Minato relationship was a secret. But Kushina was her best friend in school. Yes, one of her best friends, because she was always rough and acting like a boy, so most people didn't like to play with her back then, as she was always playing with her dog as well. But Kushina was a close friend of hers, and for all this time she has hated that boy for so long. Tatsumi raised her hand. I agree, yes, she said. Hayashi narrowed his eyes at Naruto, as he knew Minato Namikaze. He had no problem with the man. They weren't really close friends, but the man was a great Hokage, and he never stand in his way back then. And he always sided with him on things, while judging that Hayashi always wanted for the good of the village. Well, mostly for the good of his clan, but the village was not in his way, so he was going to go against it. I agree as well, said Hayashi. As Shikaku, Inoichi and Choza was good friends with Minato, they all raised their hands as the votes started to come in. The only person that didn't vote was Koharu, as Koharu really did not like Naruto. But that didn't matter one bit, because they shouldn't even be voting because they're just advisors. As surprisingly enough, Danzo raised his hand. I agree as well, as Naruto narrowed his eyes, as he wondered what was Danzo up to. He must want something from him, because from right now Naruto's name will start to grow and just grow. But it doesn't matter, because he knows what kind of man Danzo is. Despite his cunning acts, he still wants the best for Konoha. Well then, it's agreed, said Sarutobi. When Naruto reaches the age of 16, he shall take a seat at the council table as the head of the Uzumaki clan. As all of them nodded. Well then, Naruto, that is all. You may take your leave now, said Sarutobi. As Naruto nodded to all of them as he took his leave. As Sarutobi continued the meeting with the others, talking about Konoha financial situation right now. Naruto made his way outside as he started to walk away from Hokage's tower. He then noticed the people. They were all looking at him with a different look on their face. It wasn't of hate or anger. It was of, well, Most of them had a sorry, apologetic look on their face, while most of them had a confused and disbelieving look on their face. Still not believing, but all of the facts were there, as it was announced by the Hokage, and the Hokage would not lie about something like this, right? So they all could see that it was true. He was truly the son of their beloved 4th Hokage. They have shamed the 4th Hokage's name so much by hating his son, as most of them felt terrible with themselves, now knowing that the boy was able to fend off against Orochimaru and stop the invasion. They felt extremely ashamed, as most of them didn't even want to look him in the eyes. How ashamed they felt. But Naruto didn't mind that at the moment, because he knew that soon Itachi and Kisame will be coming after him. And this was another stepping stone that pushed Sasuke towards the darkness, when Itachi placed his Tsukuyomi on him. Something that Naruto won't let happen, because despite him talking to Sasuke and trying to calm him down, if he comes down to it, if Sasuke tried to leave this village to go and find Orochimaru, he would kill him without a second thought. Not even thinking about it, he would just simply kill him. So, the best thing to do right now is stop Sasuke before he even go down that path. As Naruto was walking, he came to a stop, as he saw Yujito, along with the rest of her team, the Raikage and his 2 bodyguards. As he was surprised, she was leaving already. She had a sad look on her face as she looked up and see him, as the Raikage made his way straight towards Naruto. As the man stopped a couple feet away from him, as Naruto looked up at him, "It was an honor having you here, Raikage-sama," he said. "I hope you have a safe journey back." Quite polite, said the Raikage. "You know, boy, I once fought your father." "Really?" said Naruto. "Yes. He was one of the few ninjas from my village that I respected, because of what he showed on the battlefield. Power, but kindness. I wonder, are the both of you same in that way?" "Well, I guess only time will tell," said Naruto. "I suppose you're right, but it seems like you're already coming far, knowing that jutsu of your fathers, and even able to take on an S-rank criminal by yourself." "That was quite surprising," said the Raikage. "Well, it's not like Orochimaru had a choice. You, and the Hokage and everyone else was out there. And I again thank you for helping during the invasion. There was no reason for you to help Konoha, but yet still you stood there and helped. And I thank you for that," said Naruto. "Huh. Everyone around here should be thanking you, after what I heard. It seems like you are smart indeed. Seems like you alone recognize, to take down a village, you must destroy the younger generation. So that is exactly what the Sound Ninjas did. They went after the academy. But luckily that you send your clone around there to stop them from even doing anything. That is the kind of brain, the intelligent, that people need in this world to survive. I expect great things from you, Naruto Uzumaki said. I'm honored, said Naruto. The Raikage stepped forward as he held out his hand. As Naruto held out his hand as well. As Yujito saw what he was about to do. As she knew what the Raikage was about to do, he was going to test Naruto's strength. Naruto knew that the Raikage was a man of strength and power. As Naruto grabbed the man's hand, the man's hand was just so much larger than his. It was then that Naruto felt it. The man's grip felt like iron, forcing for Naruto to submit to his will. As Naruto's face grunted up, Sir, if this continues on for longer, you're going to cause a commotion, said Darui, in a rather lazy tone. But the Raikage did not answer. He kept on holding on to Naruto's hand. He then felt it. As Naruto lifted up his head, a burst of wind started to pry his hand off Naruto, as Naruto was releasing wind from his hand. But the Raikage simply grunted as he clenched his hand back down, with more force, this time putting too much power, making Naruto collapse down to one knee. As Naruto looked up, this guy's gonna break my hand, Naruto thought. He's a Kage, but I still can't let him show me up that much. As Naruto got back up, with a pained expression on his face, as he added more wind chakra, the Raikage once again felt his hand being pried off of Naruto's hand. He was impressed by the kid's will to still stand up to him, but he wanted to see how far the kid would go. As small sparkles of electricity started to shock in the air, Raikage-sama said, see, you're taking this too far, as usual. As Darui sighed, he's right, you know, people are already watching. As the wind started to pick up as well, Yujito narrowed her eyes, seeing that Naruto was not backing down. What is that idiot thinking, thought Taru. Hey, your friend there is gonna get himself hurt, she said, looking at Yujito. Does he really think that he can stand up to the Raikage? As Amoy had a worried expression on his face. What if he get actually angry and release the 9 tails, and then it devour the Raikage, and then we have to run and go back to Kumo, and then bring our forces here, and a war then happen? What are we gonna? He was smacked in the head by Samui. Can you stop your stupid rants, she said. The wind and the lightning started to get rather violent around the both of them, as Naruto was not relenting, and the Raikage was pushing more, just to test Naruto. As Naruto's entire body started to hum with wind, making the Raikage's clothes in his ear blow back. The man simply smirked as he added more pressure, as lightning started to sparkle a bit, shocking the air and saturating around them, making everyone look over to what the hell was going on. The ground started to tremble a bit as the two mighty force started to raise their chakra level higher and higher, until the Raikage stopped. As he released Naruto's hand, calming himself, as the wind vanished as well. I must say, I'm impressed. Showing such strength in front of a Kage. I'm looking forward to see what the future holds for you, Naruto Uzumaki. Alright everyone, let's go, he said, as the group walked past Naruto looking at him. As Yujito walked past him, goodbye, she muttered. As Yujito was walking behind their group, you're gonna miss him, huh, kitten? It's not like I won't see him again, and besides I have this seal. Oh yeah, that's right. You can call him anytime for him to come over, and do the deed. From the sounds that I heard, I know that you really enjoyed it. Can we please not talk about this now? Huh, you must be crazy. Not talk about the both of you going down like animals. I, of course, want to talk about it. And if it wasn't for me, you wouldn't have done it in the first place. And if you did not listen to me, you would have a new set of changing clothes. And I already thank you for that. So can you please not drag this on? No, I expect a written thanks. What? Said Yujito. Yes, I expect you to write down a speech and tell me you thank me in so many ways. Because if it wasn't for me, and you not listening to me most time, bad things would happen. Huh, what bad things? The most I would have to do is go out in this village that is full of a lot of clothes store and buy a new set of clothes. And who would have buy it for you? All of your old clothes are ruined. You'd have been completely naked, walking in your underwear around Konoha. Huh, could you really do that? As Yujito grunted, just be quiet, okay? As she then heard Inibi go quiet before she started seeing images in her mind. What the hell are you doing? Oh, I'm just giving you a flashback to what happened. As she started to see her and Naruto in random positions, making her blush deeply. Hey, you okay? Samui asked. Yeah, I'm fine. Then why are you blushing so much? I'm not blushing, said Yujito. I can see it on your face, you know that? I don't know what you're talking about, Yujito said. Hey, I wanted to ask, where did you go when we were looking for you? You know you had us worried there. Well, we know you were in the village, but we didn't know exactly where you were. Did you went to visit that guy? What guy? You know who I'm talking about, said Samui. The guy that Oraikai just put on a show with. I mean, you seem to be all over him. What are you talking about? We barely talk to each other. Well, from just a single words that I heard the both of you said, I can see it. And in the finals of the student exams when he leaned over you. What happened under the clothes? Well, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to tell what happened. But, give me my curiosity please and tell me what happened. I'm not going to tell you anything, said Yujito. Huh, if you don't, I'm just going to keep asking you, you know that. As Yujito sighed, Samui was quite persistent. Fine. Something did happen, but nothing too much, okay? Don't bother go and tell everyone anything, okay? You know I'm your best friend, right? If there's anything you want me to keep secret, I'll never tell a single soul. Yeah, I know that, but judging from the fact that you don't want to tell me, it must be something, well, something that you never done before. Did you? Wait, did the both of you? As Yujito started to blush, Samui's eyes narrowed. You did it with him? As Yujito looked at her and didn't say anything. Really? I'm surprised. I'm right, aren't I? Fine, yes. That is where I went. That is why I didn't want to tell anyone where I was coming from. I went to his house and... yeah, it happened. Huh. What's wrong? Asked Yuchito. Oh, I'm just wondering. How was it? Why should I tell you that? I mean, I'm your best friend. We tell each other everything. So tell me, how was it? As Yuchito could only help but blush. That good, huh? As Yuchito didn't say anything. Meanwhile, back at Konoha, Naruto looked at his hand. As a man wanted to crush his hand a few minutes ago. Well, he wanted to prove dominance and try to see if Naruto was strong, but his body was still a bit small and he doesn't have that much muscles. As if he didn't add wind chakra, the man would simply crush all the bones in his hand just for sport. Huh. He still need to get stronger. Fighting Orochimaru was one thing, but taking on Akagi was another thing. They still need to get a lot stronger for the future to come. And not to mention the big enemies that are coming soon. The Akatsuki, Pain, Obito. Yes, he need to be ready for them. As Naruto was walking, Dope said a voice. As he turned his head. Huh, Sasuke, you know, I was looking for you. As Sasuke narrowed his eyes at Naruto. So it's true. You are the son of the Hokage, he asked. I didn't know how I don't put that together after what you showed me was inside of you. Maybe it's because you're stupid, Naruto said. As Sasuke glared at him a bit. But he did not say anything on that remark. Do you have any idea when he's coming? As Naruto sighed, Sasuke, I told you to be patient. But I told you, Itachi will find me soon. Trust me, this group that he's a part of wants what's inside of me really badly. And he will come. But Sasuke, do you really think you can defeat him at this level? With the jutsu I've learned from Kakashi, you'll be able to do nothing, said Naruto. What? Sasuke said. Come with me, Naruto said. As both him and Sasuke headed off. The moment later, they found themselves in a training field. What are we doing here? You believe you can defeat Itachi, said Naruto. Yes, I will finally kill him and bring my clan name back to what it was. Do you think I am stronger than Itachi? Sasuke narrowed his eyes. What's that supposed to mean? I mean, after what happened, do you think I am stronger than Itachi? Of course not, Sasuke said. After what I saw that night, he took down the entire clan. He's stronger than you. Well then, said Naruto, as he flashed in front of Sasuke, surprising him. Sasuke was caught off guard by the speed as Naruto grabbed his throat. Sasuke raised his hands, but Naruto slapped them all with his other hand, before pushing off Sasuke as he smashed him into a tree. Sasuke winced out in pain as he glared at Naruto, activating his Sharingan. The next thing Naruto knew, Sasuke burst into mud. As Naruto looked around, he saw the entire place start to sink. His feet was caught up in a lot of mud. Giant spikes started to burst from the ground, coming towards him at a rapid pace. Naruto simply sighed as he released his chakra in a large burst. A huge burst of chakra exploded out from Naruto, cracking the Genjutsu. As Sasuke was sailing away from Naruto with force. Sasuke narrowed his eyes in shock. The chakra was enough to push him back this far. What the hell are you doing, dope? Sasuke asked. Well, you said it yourself, Itachi is stronger than me. So that means, if you can't beat me, you have no chance of beating him. As Naruto dashed forward, not giving Sasuke time to talk, Sasuke raised his hand in a protective motion as Naruto smacked his fist in it. Sasuke was literally pushed back with a great force as his hands felt like they're stinging. As Naruto swung around and drive his leg towards Sasuke midsection, Sasuke lowered both of his hands to block the attack, but it was just too strong as Naruto kicked him as he was sent crashing into a tree. Sasuke grunted as he picked himself out. The next thing he knew, his face was grabbed violently, before Naruto went behind him and pulled a kunai and placed it right at his throat. And you're dead, Naruto said. Sasuke was surprised. Even though he was caught off guard, how was he able to get caught so easily? Sasuke grunted and pushed Naruto off of him, as Naruto holstered the kunai. You see what I mean, you're still too angry. Have you ever seen Itachi fight before? Well, I guess not, Naruto said. But you should know, going into a battle with no level head will get you killed, Sasuke. So at the moment, I don't think that you're ready to take on Itachi, because he will destroy you and simply put you through more pain for not getting stronger. Do you really want to go up against him now? Naruto asked. Sasuke grunted, but he saw the reality of things. His genjutsu did not work on Naruto, and it wouldn't even work on Itachi because he has a higher level of Sharingan than him, and Naruto was much faster. So that means how was Itachi in speed and strength? Could he really even do this? As Sasuke wondered, could he get strong enough to beat Itachi? Or was he gonna stay like this for the rest of his life? Would he ever be able to beat him? Sasuke then felt a hand on his shoulder. Calm down, Naruto said. Look at me, Sasuke. I already told you that I'll help you. And by the way, there is no rush. You still have time to get stronger. It's not like Itachi is just gonna die one day before you can get your revenge, even though you're after him to kill him. I've already talked to you about looking under the underneath. And what's that supposed to do? Said Sasuke. Look underneath what? The next time you see Itachi, talk first instead of just rushing in blindly. What's that supposed to mean? Sasuke asked. I can't help you with everything, Sasuke. If I do, you will never learn, Naruto said. Now, you have to figure out this yourself. But don't worry, as I said, I'll be there to help you as well. Remember what I told you about the training trip? Yeah. So as soon as you hear from me that me and Jiraiya are going on a training trip, I suggest you ask for the same with Kakashi. He's the only one that can help you with the Sharingan. And by that time, I want you to tell him to teach you every single thing. No holding back, to push you to your absolute limit, so you can come back stronger than before. Do you think I'll be wasting my time out there, dope? Sasuke said. Of course, I'll train to my limit. As Naruto simply sighed. Through and through you still call me dope. Well, it doesn't matter. But after you get your revenge, Sasuke, what are you gonna do? Naruto asked. I'm going to restore my clan, said Sasuke. How? Naruto asked. What do you mean? Sasuke said. I asked you how. You said you're going to restore your clan. Are you going to be with Sakura? As Sasuke looked at him, you know what I'm talking about. In order to restore your clan, you're going to have to sleep with someone. Maybe even multiple someone. So that the Uchiha clan can be restored to the fullest. Have you heard about the CRA Act? Yes. I was told about that by one of the elders before. When someone has to marry multiple wives, am I right? Yeah, Naruto said. You know they're gonna put you under that as well. And besides, you have to take up the seat as the Uchiha clan head. Seems like both of us are going to be clan head. What? Sasuke said. Well, I recently came from a meeting. It seems like I am the last member for the Uzumaki clan. Uzumaki? Your last name is from a clan? Yes, a prestige clan. Wiped out some time ago. But it seems like they wanted rebuilding Konoha. So, why don't we have each other backs? You as the Uchiha clan head and me as the Uzumaki clan head. As long as I get what I want in the first place. I don't care what happened after that, said Sasuke. Don't think about it so lightly, said Naruto. There will come a time when you have to make a decision. A decision that will change every single thing in your life. Stop acting like you're wise, dope, said Sasuke. As Naruto simply chuckled. Huh, I'm much wiser than you, he said. Oh, there you are, said a voice. As Naruto turned, to his surprise, standing there was the Mizukage, along with Haku. But guys, be in this episode right here. If you want to see the next part of this, you know what to do. Like, subscribe, comment down below, turn on the notifications to stay posted, and remember to stay tuned for the rest of the what ifs coming your way, and I hope you guys enjoy each and every one of them. But for now, I'm out of here. See you guys soon. Peace.